Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're going to do a quick ILS flight and startup of the 208B Caravan EX. We're going to go ahead and jump inside. Shift C to do that. First thing you want to do is you want to turn your fuel selectors to open. You want to come down here and you want to put your fuel valve open. Put your propeller to 100%. And engine to high idle for startup. And I like to put my flaps to 50% flaps for takeoff flaps. Good. Let's take this off. Now I'll come over here. I'm going to put on beacon and strobe to let everybody know I'm turning on the engine aircraft. But for those to come on, we'll need to turn on the battery. First, avionics master. And we'll put the fuel pump to on. Ignition to on, and go ahead and start the plane. I believe I did everything right. You could keep the throttle at flight idle, or you could put it a little bit forward if you want. That should be good right there. That's just low volt warning. That should go off in a second. Okay. Now we're going to come back here. We're going to turn off strobe, turn on navigation. We'll just keep these off. Turn on cabin power. We'll come back over here. We're going to turn on the second avionics master. And we're going to put the fuel pump to normal. Ignition to normal. And engine starters off. I believe that's everything. I think you could switch the battery off, but I'm not sure. I'm not exactly an expert here. Okay, I believe we're all set up for takeoff, but before we do, we want to make sure we're on the ILS. Set up for the ILS 25 right, we are. But if you want to do it manually, do it yourself. Like this big knob here, go down to select approach, click enter, then find ILS 25 right, enter, and the Trento transition is what we're going to. Enter, and just go back. Go flight plan. We need to be at 1900 feet before the runway, but that'll come later when we set up vertical navigation. Right now is we need to open this up. You go over here, come down to the arrival airport, click information, then charts, then approach, and come down here to our ILS 25 right. Again, we need to be at 1900 feet to capture the glide slope for the ILS. And we need to be at 111.1. You can see that here. All you do is click swap it over. So now it's engaged. And again, we need to know we need to be at 1900 feet to capture the glide slope. That'll come later though. Two of the things I like to do is I like to turn this on, make sure the stopwatch is enabled so we can speed up and slow down the sim rate and make sure we're in real time. And I like to make sure it's a VFR flight. So I don't have ATC talking at me too much, even though I turn off enforce ATC. So we don't have to worry about cruise altitude, putting it in or anything like that. Send to ATC now. We've already done that. Again, let me make sure again. Yeah, we're still all set up. Procedures look good. Okay. Okay, I believe we can go ahead and take off. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. 100% throttle. Take the brake off. Everything looks good in the green. Airspeed's alive. B1, rotate. Although this tends to rotate all by itself. And again, we did not set up the autopilot. I did not set up the autopilot. But that's okay. I have a rate of climb. I take that to speed just a little bit. Make sure we are in a climb when I set up autopilot.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Continue for west departure.
Hold on 1 second. Let me answer these people.
Los Alamitos Tower, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Continue for west departure.
Now see the heading bug right over here in the blue is already set to intercept the glide slope, or the GPS line, I'm sorry. So what we're going to do is come over here then, click heading, and click nav, make sure they're both on. There's a heading. We'll make sure that the heading bug that helps us to intercept the glide path. Now we're going to set up the select altitude to 3000. And we're going to use vertical navigation, vertical speed up for this one. Click to on. Make sure it's at 1500 feet a minute. Don't want to go any faster than that. Oh.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
I had to take out the flaps to make sure flaps are fully up. Go ahead and answer this person real quick.
Los Alamitos Tower. Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra. Frequency change.
Now should be all set. And you can see here we're flying to the GPS line. And you can see that we're lined up to capture the GPS line. GPS is on standby. It's currently following the heading. If that's close enough to the GPS line, it'll switch over just like it has. And we're also at flight altitude, just about. So we've taken care of that. So now the airplane will fly us to the airport all on its own. And since the altitude is set up, is all set in at 3,000 feet, what we're going to do is come over here and we're going to set our vertical navigation. We're going to put in 1,800 just to make sure. Go one lower and click vertical navigation on. That should give us the top of descent, and it has. It's right over here. That's our top of descent. That's to know that we did everything right. And the other thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and enable activate approach. Select activate approach. Enter. And to make sure it's entered, we look over here, click flight plan. It's blinking, so we are going straight to the Trendo transition because the ILS is that has been activated. ILS approach has been activated. I'm going to bring back the speed just a little bit, and we're going to speed up the sim just so we get till just before the turn, and then slow down back to real time just before the turn. Make sure we're in real time, and we are. Now we're turning in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable approach, and that should automatically switch over to localizer. See, the localizer's been enabled. It's on standby. It should switch over on its own, and it has. There's a glide slope coming down. You have to intercept the glide slope, so it has to get to around here. But we should do that automatically, no problemo. Can even speed up the sim a little bit, maybe. And there we are. We've intercepted the glide slope, and this will bring us down to the runway all on its own, taking us down. All we have to do is manage the speed. I'll bring back the speed a little bit. Now, another thing we need to do is we need to know flaps. To put flaps down, we need to be at 150 knots for first notch flaps and 125 for second notch flaps. You can see that here and here. So we'll do that once we get closer to the runway. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here. And back in real time. It's a good thing we're following the ILS. ILS is made for bad weather, so we can be able to glide ourselves, take ourselves to the runway, even though we can't see anything. We're going to go ahead and slow down the aircraft. Take out the throttle. Just to around below 150 knots. I'm going to put in 1 notch of flaps. You can see that here. And we need to put below 125 knots for second notch flaps. So I'm slowly taking out the accelerator till we have that, okay? Put in second notch flaps. Then I'm going to put half throttle. Full flaps, half throttle. Autopilot's still taking us to the runway all by itself. Can't see the runway yet. Again, good thing we're using ILS approach. That's what ILS is for. Okay, we're at 500. I can see the runway now, barely. So I'm going to take off autopilot, fly it in myself. Take out the accelerator just a little bit. There's a plane on the runway. That's not good. Could do a misapproach, but I'm not going to worry about it. What I'm going to do is taking out the accelerator a little bit. I'm going to aim for the yellow lines here. Then I'm going to look off to the far end of the runway. Take out the accelerator some more. Just line it up. Take out the speed a little bit, just a little bit at a time. Take it closer and closer to the runway. I'm going to take the accelerator all the way out. And that's it. Accelerator all the way out. Okay, you got out just in time. You got to stop behind this line. Contact ground. All that stuff. Oh, the plane's not stopping. Probably because we're in high idle. What you usually do is contact ground in and ask for a taxi to parking, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to show you how to shut down the aircraft. I'm going to take the engine down to cutoff, propeller to 0%. I'm going to come over here, just switch everything off. Oh, that was already off. Avionics off, masters 1 and 2. Turn all these switches off. You can leave these where they are. And want to make sure that the fuel valve is closed and fuel selectors set to close. Parking brakes engaged. Okay, that takes care of that. That's how you do a quick ILS flight. Okay, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, think about giving a like, think about subscribing. I'm a new channel, I need all the help I can get. But if not, hey, it's all love. Take care, we'll see you in the next one.